The Father Who Was the Source of Light. This is episode 2 of a two-part narration. The Father Who Was the Source of Light, Part 2. My father was not merely a parent. He was a school. He taught us patience, contentment that does not extinguish ambition, and ambition that competes with the self, not with others. He taught us how effort becomes achievement, and how a person is built from within, before without. He understood details, but was never imprisoned by them. He taught us that leadership is not surveillance, it is trust. When trust builds a mind. In 4th grade, I had a small corner in his shop, the repair corner. Khantoub, a Hadrami word meaning a methodical person who deeply analyzes details. He would gather broken toys and leave them for me. No questions, no supervision, no interference. Silent trust, but deep. From that trust, I learned more than fixing toys. I learned how a mind is built, how attempts become knowledge, and how knowledge becomes innovation. A small experience on the surface, but the beginning of a profound truth. Trust does not create followers, it creates human beings. Years later, a school project earned official recognition, but in truth, it was a tribute to him, the fruit of a seed planted long before. Delegation that builds for him. Delegation was never abandonment, it was construction. He gave space, planted trust, and let experience shape the person. He taught us that leadership is not doing everything yourself, but building those who can. A man people loved. He possessed a rare social generosity. From children to elders, everyone who sat with him found something unforgettable. He was a companion of life. His presence alone brought calm. When a guest arrived, he welcomed him as if pouring tranquility into the room. His presence was enough to steady those around him. This is the deepest kind of loss, to lose the man whose presence was a life in itself. Between majesty and mercy, when he was angry, his voice carried the weight of thunder, majestic, commanding. But like thunder, it brought rain. His anger awakened. It never broke. His smile, however, was stillness, dignity, warmth, reassurance. A single glance from him could reorder a moment without a word. And when he mentioned a Quranic story and we did not recall its meaning, he would say, "Do you not read?" He always returned us to the source. When legacy speaks, I look at the extension he left behind, not in names, not in professions, but in meaning. When you see a person's imprint in those who follow, you know he was not ordinary. A father is not measured by the length of his years, but by the depth of what he leaves behind. The root that never dies. See, in his final years, the Quran was his companion, and remembrance his peace. He would say, "It is only a few hours, and we depart." And he did. But some things do not depart. The root does not die. It remains in the earth, feeding the branches with strength. The body left, but the impact stayed. Father, you were not a life we lived. You were the life we grew from. End of episode 2. This concludes the full 2-part narration